Jerry and I put together a presentation about all the various ways that you can get involved on campus at Oakland, specifically as an SCHS student. And we can even kind of focus and talk about HRD specifically as well. So my name is Roberta Rea. I'm the Director of Advising in the School of Ed and Human Services. And I thought I'd share that my favorite way to be involved when I was an undergrad was through our student government on campus. So I was involved in student government, which was a lot of fun way to meet other students on campus and learn more about how campuses work. I fell in love with it so much that I decided to stay and work on a college campus.
I'm Jerry Pathenos. I actually majored in elementary education at Oakland University, and I was a commuter. And at first, I didn't think that commuters had really options to get involved on campus, but they do. And if you decide to commute, you will absolutely have the same opportunities. It's as easy as even kind of hanging out in the Oakland Center and having lunch, getting coffee, making friends that way, and then just kind of venturing off to various things around the community. When you have breaks in between classes, you've got your car, so you can kind of head out and check out what the area has to offer. And then another great way was through the field experiences in the education program, and those internship opportunities really helped me with the networking. So those were my favorite parts. So just kind of like a table of contents of what we're going to cover. Everything from things that are housed right in the School of Education and Human Services to kind of the broader on campus. There's also an office for student involvement that deals specifically with the involvement opportunities. So we'll get into the different facets of that one. The rec center, I'm sure if you've been on campus, you've definitely seen it. If not, hopefully you hear about it and check out that facility soon. You'll learn a little bit about well-being opportunities. And then we have some amazing support services that we just tried to kind of limit, even though it was hard to just kind of limit. Honestly, the opportunities are endless, and you'll definitely notice that once you get immersed here at OU. So some things to possibly consider. So we have tons of volunteer opportunities, and they are updated regularly on our SEHS advising webpage. I'll show you what those look like in just a second. Similarly, we have job opportunities. So if you want to get paid for some of that work, that's an option as well. And right now it's kind of focused on like the school settings, but HRD is very similar to teaching, right? You're just maybe teaching like professional adults in a work environment. I mentioned earlier, as an education major, I got a lot of experience and involvement with the field placements. Educators can join the Student Michigan Education Association, which is now called Aspiring Educators. And then even maybe some kind of like sororities or any kind of like honor societies related to involvement on campus.
I'm going to bring up the job opportunities website and just share that what happens is not a week that goes by that we don't get an email from some type of community organization that is interested in hiring some of our students. And so what we've done is listed on our advising website a handful of teaching or job related or career related opportunities. So we've had outreaches from an organization called Dream Scene, which is located in Troy and Birmingham. We've got some academic success partners in Birmingham, Royal Oak Schools, Trinity Lutheran. And so lots of opportunities for community jobs are on our website. All of our on-campus jobs are posted on the same website, and it's called Handshake. And so with the Handshake organization, that's on the Career Services website, and students can make profiles where you would say, I'm a human resource development student, and then it auto-populates what your GPA is, how many credits you've earned, and it allows you to search where all the on-campus jobs are. And so those might include things like our student assistant for all the various different offices, or working in the recreation center. So recreation center hires a lot of students, housing hires a lot of students as well. So there's definitely opportunities to work on campus for sure. One more School of Education and Human Services club to jump in and talk about would be the HRD Honor Society and Student Association. So the HRD Honor Society and Student Association is our most popular club for our HRD students. And what they do is it's one organization that kind of wears these two hats. credits. So for students in their first year at Oakland through their last semester at Oakland, it's considered a student association. So they do things like bring in HR professionals, talk about, getting into careers in HR and networking and social. And then in the very last semester for students that are at the upper GPA, so 3.6 and above, they recognize those students as honors students, and you get an extra cord at graduation for participation in that organization. And it's a nice thing to list on your resume as well. So they typically host their meetings one kind of late afternoon, early evening a month. And those are virtual right now while we're in a pandemic. And then when they're not, we host them in either Poly Hall or the Oakland Center. But they typically have the meetings right before the evening classes start so that it's very easy for students to get to the club meetings before the start of the semester. So in addition to the HRD Student Association, there's tons of other clubs and organizations. So there's over 300 different clubs. One is Student Congress. Another one would be academic clubs like the ones that I named, fraternities and sororities, or there's different ways to get involved on campus through the radio, the news publication, which is the Oakland Post, or things like the Student Life Lecture Board and Student Video Connection. The cool thing about some of those positions, like the Student Congress position and the Student Video Productions and the Oakland Post, is you can actually get paid to do some of those. And some of them are considered on-campus jobs, which is really nice because it's both development of your skills and abilities, but you also can use that as your on-campus job and get paid for that as well. So some of the types of clubs that you might not think of off the top of your head that they offer is a little bit of something for everyone. I had a student a couple years back that started a sewing club. She liked to sew, and she met another student in one of her classes that also liked to sew, who knew another student that did. And so they got together and started that. And then one of our student employees in our office is really passionate about women's rights. And she and a couple of her friends started an organization called the Feminists at Oakland University. So I would say if you look at the 300 of them and you're like, yeah, but it doesn't really get at the one that I really, really am most interested in, talk to your classmates and see about starting another one. You only need 4 students to start a student organization, and Oakland University has money for students that are starting organizations to sponsor things. So
Like
for
salsa dancing.
ooh, that
I
could
had a student recently told me she started the salsa dancing club. I thought that was amazing.
that's awesome. Very cool. So leadership development is not specifically a club or an organization, but it's a learning opportunity outside of the classroom. So we're lucky in the HRD program, you'll get a class specifically on the principles of leadership, but leadership is a skill or a qualification that you can take into any career that you're interested in or any HR position. Oftentimes, HR employees are seen as leaders in their organizations. And so Oakland, through the Office of Student Involvement, offers free learning opportunities to kind of hone and fine tune your leadership development skills. And so you can sign up for workshops, you can be part of mentoring programs, and hold different leadership opportunities to help grow those responsibilities. And you can use that as a marketed skill on your resume when you're looking for jobs after college. So I think the 4-H organization is a community organization, and part of their mission is to serve or give back to the community. And so if that's something that you are interested in, there's ways to volunteer both on campus and off campus. So on campus, we have a Golden Grizzly food pantry. So if any of our students are food scarce, they're welcome on kind of like an anonymous basis to come in and shop the food pantry. We've got breakfast items, lunch items, dinner items, mostly non-perishable foods that students can take to help supplement, because we know that college is expensive, and anything we can do to help support our students, we're committed to. Or if you'd like to get more involved in the community instead of on campus, there's monthly service opportunities hosted through the Office of Student Involvement. And then, or if you'd like to just specify one type of organization that you would like to volunteer with, you can kind of track your hours over time and get volunteer and service credit that way. And then if you're planning on being a commuter student to campus where you're driving back and forth to campus, there's a website specifically dedicated to you called the Commuter Connection. I'll bring this up. And it houses all kinds of helpful information about where to eat on campus, some transportation opportunities, including bus routes and bike loans. But two that I thought that might be the most interesting to you is it houses some of the best study spots on campus for commuter students. So especially in that first semester, trying to figure out, okay, where's my best spot to go ahead and get set up while I'm going to be spending time on campus in between classes. We try to avoid the car phenomenon where students go from their car to their class, right back to their car. So these study spots can help give you an idea of places to check out on campus. And then if you wanted, there is also lockers available in the Oakland Center, and they're $5 for the semester. And really, I think the money is more just so that you have some kind of investment and connection to remember to turn the key back in at the end of the semester. So that's a commuter connection possibility for you. So Oakland University's president has a goal to be the most well campus in Michigan. And so she has invested a time and energy into promoting wellness programs for students. And so when we're thinking about wellness, we're thinking about our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health. And there's a number of resources on campus that are completely free to all students just by virtue of being a student. So in the physical wellness area, we have the recreation center, which is a really great facility. We have, a traditional indoor track. There is aerobic equipment, so treadmills and ellipticals. There's weight machines and basketball court and group exercise and lots of opportunities for students to do exercising for free. So if you're a member of a gym in the community, oftentimes students will forego their gym memberships while they're Oakland University students because they get it for free right on campus. So also a really great place to meet other students on campus that share common interests of being well. So for the mental wellness, there's different programs that Oakland puts on every year to promote student wellness mentally and emotionally as well. So two of the most popular ones I would say is the bright light therapy, where you can go on campus and sit in front of one of those blue lights. It's almost like a tanning room experience, only you don't get tan. It is more for just combating that seasonal affective disorder where people don't see enough sunshine in Michigan because the days are short and the darkness is a lot. And then second, there's pet therapy. So at least once a semester, they bring in dogs somewhere on campus for students to go ahead and pet dogs because there's some the stress hormones go down and the positivity hormones go up when you're petting an animal. So every semester around finals time in the library, there's going to be some pet therapy to help with your emotional wellness. And then lastly, for that mental and emotional as well, there's free wellness coaching for Oakland University students. So you can sign up to be coached. I think it's once a week where you would just check in and set wellness goals for yourself and have an accountability partner. And when you go out into the community and try to pay for that, I mean, you're paying upwards of $80 to $100 a session for a professional coach on that. And so definitely something I would take advantage of is if I was an OU student, is just checking in and having that coaching relationship on whatever your wellness goals may be. And then back to the physical, we've got some great club sports at Oakland University. My cousin's on the lacrosse team here, so she practices a few times a week, and then they travel around to other colleges and universities in the area. And so that was a way for her to stay involved in something she was passionate about from high school and still get in some exercise. And that's become her home base and closest friends on campus. So there's not just lacrosse, there's also rugby and video games and hockey and lots of different opportunities. So club sports is another way to connect with students on campus and maintain that physical wellness.
So this one's really fun. So this was really important to me as a commuter. I talked about that third one, the Oakland Center, a lot. Honestly, like, yeah, don't be the you go to your car and kind of study. Just hang out in the Oakland Center. You're going to make friends. You're going to establish study groups that may save you from a lot of your classes. Just having somebody else to talk to about it. So that would be really nice. Another place to check out would be we have music, theater, and dance. That's one of our big departments, and they offer their own performances, and they have amazing performances, and that is right in Varner Hall, which is super close to Pauley Hall, which is where the School of Education and Human Services is. The last one to kind of chat about, and it's like the best time right now for Meadowbrook. It is absolutely beautiful this time. So get a chance to check out Meadowbrook. They've got like all the lights up. You can go on tours for a discounted rate. Something else to think about is Meadowbrook Theater. I know A Christmas Carol is a huge play that they do every year. So just so many things to check out, even if you just want to be an audience member or just be part of something, ask friends to meet you there. Those are all great opportunities. Just for the sake of time, I'll go ahead and go to the next one. So Miss Roberta, if you want to just push me over. Yeah. So something that is incredibly important here on campus would be the student support services. So we do have Center for Multicultural Initiatives. This is basically where you can join other students and just kind of promote and just appreciate all of the diversity that we have on the OU campus, and just kind of just acclimating yourself to all the different kinds of people. It's amazing, and tons of support there. So if we click on it, Roberta, if you wouldn't mind, I'm so sorry. I'll just kind of show you that they do an awesome job of updating their site and kind of giving you some information. Diversity training is obviously also a huge part right now with the culture of our own society and all of the political kind of uproar that's happening. Very relevant right now, even for young adults. So something that's really cool. So diversity training request forum, you can check out this site to get a bunch of those. Another one to chat about would be the support services for the Gender and Sexuality Center. So OU is incredible. We are definitely very welcoming, all kinds of folks. We are focused on definitely supporting and keeping all students. So we have our long acronym here, LGBTQIA. So just basically, if you are affiliate with that group, if you just want to be an ally for that group, there's ways to get involved. So this website definitely includes a lot of those offerings. Pride Month is huge. So we definitely offer a ton of resources on that front. One last one that I wanted to share, we do offer support for our veterans. So just basically kind of understanding what it's like to be a veteran, to like go to school, understanding like the financial aid aspects of being a veteran, any of the support services for registering for classes, the benefits. There's so many things. There's ways to contribute to our veterans through a gift fund. So there's tons of ways to get involved and show your appreciation for our veterans. So this was just another one that I thought would be a great idea to include on the presentation. Definitely not limited to these three, but for the sake of time, that's where I'm gonna head off with that one.